Hi there, my name is Troy Kinsey. Welcome to our new training series called Service Management Essentials. In this series, we discuss how to assess and mature the delivery and support of services regardless of your industry. So whether you're managing a restaurant, a bank, a hotel, or a real estate firm, these concepts can be applied to your organization and they can be applied today. In this module, we talk about why most initiatives fail and discuss key factors required to launch a successful service management improvement initiative. In this module, we will discuss those areas that are key to launching our own successful initiatives. And these include defining clear and measurable objectives, gathering the right individuals together to form a high-performance team, identifying key roles and responsibilities, creating a workable project plan that makes sense for the organization, and establishing a means of ensuring clear communications and consistent decision-making. So the concepts that we're going to be discussing are based upon a guidebook that I published last year called Practical Service Management, and I'll include a link in the description below. Alrighty, let's begin. Unfortunately, most service management initiatives fail, so let's discuss why. Now, there are a number of pitfalls associated with improving a service management organization, and we're going to discuss these throughout the training series. For this module, let's focus on those associated with setting up an improvement initiative. Really any kind of initiative. Throughout the years, I have been asked to step in and assess and help projects and project managers that have gone sideways a little bit or just completely off the rails. And when introduced, I will meet first with individuals and with the team next. Now, these are the questions that I typically ask. One, what is the definition of success for the project? What are we trying to deliver? What problem or problems are we trying to solve? Describe those for me. Two, what is everyone's role in the team? And I'm not just talking about the individual that I'm referring to or talking to at the moment, but everyone should understand everyone else's role. Three, how are we going to get there? How are we going to continue to set and meet expectations? How are we as a team going to address issues, challenges, and risks as they arise? And four, how are decisions going to be made, escalations addressed, and status communicated? It usually becomes pretty clear pretty quickly what the issue or issues are. And this is important. Everyone on the team, including all the stakeholders and leadership, should all be able to answer these questions at any given point in time. Now, I know this sounds almost a bit too easy and simplified, but I think you'll soon see why these fundamental issues are often overlooked. Now let's talk about where those things tend to slip up and how we can ensure we have what we need for our initiative. So everyone can usually recite the project goals at a 50,000 or even 25,000 foot level, but more often than not, the true definition of success is not really sufficiently clear. Oftentimes, also the why isn't clear, and this is where a charter can prove helpful. Charter is a 1 to 2 page document that outlines what problem or problems we're trying to address, what is the scope and also what's not in scope, what justification is there for the project, are there any dependencies? For example, one key dependency is often the use of common resources, and how are we going to measure success, and what risks do the team foresee, and how do we plan on, as a team, addressing them? A charter is a useful tool to ensure that everyone, including the team, leadership, customers, vendors, and partners, are all on the same page. But when it comes to the definition of success, we can and really should go a step further. It's helpful to step through what success really is going to look like, spend time visualizing what this means to ensure that everyone is on the same page. And this is where use cases can prove helpful. So a use case is a simple tool that outlines outcomes, preconditions, and the steps to get from one to the other. And I've included a link to a Coffee Thoughts video on use cases in the description below as well. So the who. It's important to identify clearly who is on the core team and who's on the extended team. And this is where a RACI diagram can prove helpful because it provides that written clarity we're looking for. So RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. And these signify the roles, the key roles that members of the team will have with respect to the overall project. Now, before we start identifying some of these key roles, let's discuss the difference between a core and an extended team. Typically, the difference is the frequency by which the team meets and is engaged. So the core team meets at least once per week and likely even more frequently. They're typically dedicating the bulk of their time to the project or initiative. The extended team, on the other hand, less so. Their skills and input are definitely going to be needed at times, but not quite as consistently. Now, with all other aspects of establishing a successful initiative, it's crucial that expectations regarding commitments, such as time and resource, are made really clear up front, so everyone's on the same page. So we can use a RACI diagram to distinguish roles and responsibilities from those on the team and even key stakeholders such as project sponsors, vendors, or customer representatives. We can also include those who may be on the extended team, such as subject matter experts, component owners, such as the knowledge process owner, for example, or others. When establishing the core project team, we need to include at the very least a project manager, and this is the individual who's going to be accountable for delivering the project successfully, so on time, on budget, to the solution that we've defined and articulated in the charter. And it's important that the project manager has experience working with and motivating various individuals with various skill sets and perspectives. The project manager should have ample amounts of empathy, compassion, attention to detail, and should really not be afraid of sharing and working with the team to address bad or challenging news. While typically an individual contributor, a project manager must also be an effective leader. They must be eager to coach and partner with the team and stakeholders, and they should have experience with similar initiatives and impassioned to help the team succeed in this one. So the next is project sponsor. I typically include the project sponsor also on the charter, as this is the individual who's best positioned before the project's even formally started to answer questions about what the project is, why it's important. The project sponsor also assists with decision making and provides the project manager and the team with guidance. They should also be on the hook for assisting the team through the tangled jungle of politics and assist with OCM, organizational change management. And we'll be discussing change management in more detail in Module 3. Service owners is next. So service owners are accountable for the reliability and usability of their assigned service or services. By supportability, this means that they are monitoring the frequency and impact when their service is not working or degraded. By usability, we're referring to how a service is providing the value intended for the customer. Service owners should be provided with the means to pitch for, really, funding and support to improve reliability. Now, this is typically achieved through templates, such as business case templates, and a submission, prioritization, and a review and approval process. Service owners should continually look for ways to improve their services by monitoring customer feedback and partnering with support personnel. And it's important to include 1 to 2 key service owners on the team, as these individuals are ultimately going to be using the components that we're going to be maturing and improving. They can provide feedback with regards to what they need to be successful and how we can improve components to help them do so effectively and efficiently. Now, there are other key roles and personnel that we might include in the core team, including process owners, managers. Process owners are those individuals who are accountable for ensuring the reliability and ease of use of a process, whereas process managers are responsible for the day-to-day operations. System owners and managers, as you might imagine, system owners are accountable for 1 or more tools, technologies, services, systems, and system managers are responsible for the day-to-day operations, of course. As we work to improve each process, tool, structure, relationship within the service management ecosystem, we're going to want to pull in those individuals best positioned to help us succeed. A key note with regards to these roles and assignments: these roles are often not well defined for most organizations. It's not crucial that every process or technology or structure relationship owner has an assigned owner up front. However, we're going to want to establish a mechanism and process for continuing to assign key accountable roles as we move forward. And we're going to discuss this further again in Module 3 when we discuss organizational change management. We're also going to discuss the rollout of role assignments when we craft out our roadmap and set a schedule or set of schedules in Module 4. All right, so the how. So there's a formal and an informal aspect to communications plan. We'll discuss the formal now. We'll save the informal to the end of the video. We should create a formal communications plan that outlines what we're going to communicate, who we're going to communicate this information to, how certain types of information is going to be communicated, what the frequency of each communication type will be. Our communication plan should include the team, both core and extended, and all other stakeholders, including, of course, customers and leadership. We should continually strive to ensure that everyone is tracking in the same direction towards the same goal. So while everyone on the team is responsible, this accountability, of course, should rest with the project manager. We should also, of course, track decisions made, action items, risks. These are, of course, fairly fundamental to every project, not just service management improvement projects. And we can do this through regular and clear status reports that are easy to read, clearly define challenges and issues, the associated impacts, and any ideas to mitigate. Monthly or quarterly business reviews to ensure strategic alignment. And this is where we bring in leadership and customer representatives to ensure that we're all heading in the same direction. And through governance. Now, we're going to discuss governance in more detail in later modules, but essentially, we're going to want to formalize or standardize how decisions are made and communicated to ensure that everyone remains on the same page and is properly engaged. This includes agreeing on scope, so what type of decisions will be made, the criteria for how those decisions are going to be made, and of course, how they're going to be communicated. This is particularly important for service management improvement initiatives because there are typically a lot of decisions that really need to be made, including decisions around accountabilities, process changes, and metrics, agreeing on the metrics, status of metrics, and importantly, how and to whom these metrics are going to be communicated. Because of this, it's really important to establish an actual method for making decisions, decisive decisions in a timely manner, and then communicating those across the organization. Again, we're going to discuss this further in the OCM module. So let's talk about the win. Creating a roadmap and schedule. This is a huge topic that we're going to be covering more in Module 5. In this module, we'll discuss how to incorporate the current maturity level of a service management ecosystem, the OCM maturity, as well as our design principles into a coherent roadmap and set of schedules. Subsequently, we're going to need to create a working schedule or schedules that make sense for the team and organization. In the meantime, here are some considerations. So first, let's start with this. A roadmap and a schedule are two different things. A roadmap is a high-level view depicting the sequence of activities and roughly when they're going to occur. This is to set expectations, again, at a high level and outline the logic associated with the sequence and approach. Whereas a project schedule contains tasks that are assigned to individual owners. Now, while a roadmap will only occasionally be modified or tweaked, schedules really should be continually managed and communicated on a regular basis. In terms of schedules, structuring schedules, they should be driven by durations and dependencies, not dates. And this enables project managers to continually manage the timing and prioritization of tasks across the project so that they can manage the critical path, so the shortest path from where we are now to the end of the project. Schedules should also be well structured, which means that everyone, including, of course, the team and those assigned tasks, but also stakeholders, should be able to read the schedule, not just task owners. Also, we should really adopt a top-down approach because it's easier to see how it's structured. Tasks should be assigned to individuals, not groups, and this gets back to the concept of if everyone's accountable, nobody is accountable. All right, lastly, creating a team versus a group of individuals. It's important to agree how we're going to function together as a team. This is really crucial and often overlooked. Teams often don't get the chance or the opportunity to discuss up front how they're going to address issues as they arise, again, as a team. And it's important that the team takes the time to talk about how they're going to support each other and even work through what-if scenarios. Teams often never really get a chance to gel, to be honest, which is really unfair. It's unfortunate. It's a cool topic that actually we might discuss in a separate video. Let us know if you'd like us to do that. For now, suffice to say that the team should meet as a functioning body very early in the process to talk about how we're going to contend with communication issues and personnel issues as they arise. It's important to start thinking as a team to bring everyone together initially, recognizing everyone's work, understanding what motivates each individual on the team, practicing and drilling, so running simulations and conducting table reads. The team continues to improve their level of trust and really starts to gel again as a team. Okay, so to summarize, at any given point in time, everyone on the team, as well as key stakeholders, should understand and be able to answer these fundamental questions. What does success look like? What is everyone's role in the team, including stakeholders? How, as a team, do we address issues and challenges and risks? How are decisions made, escalations addressed, and status communicated? So this concludes Module 1. In Module 2, we're going to review the discovery phase. In this phase, we're going to gather information, hold structured interviews, hold interactive workshops, and we're going to use the information gathered to assess the organization's service management maturity using a new approach and set of metrics. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. We'd love to hear from you, hear your feedback, and if you'd be willing to do so, we'd love to hear about your own experiences when launching a service management improvement initiative. So thank you for your time. Please comment below, hit all the YouTube buttons, levers, so that you don't miss out on our next video. Until we see you in the next video, take care, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.